Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Played on Repeat Top 10 Fridays. In these Friday episodes, I'm going to be going over some of my favorite bands who I don't necessarily have specific albums I want to go over, like on the main episodes, but they have a lot of individual songs that I do enjoy. So, what I'm going to be doing is going to their top 10 songs on Spotify and giving a little bit of a breakdown on their top 10 songs. I don't think I'm necessarily going to do ratings in these Friday episodes because this is basically like going through a greatest hits album in a way. And every one of these would be like way over a nine because it's the best of the best from the bands. So I'm not going to do ratings for these. In this first episode, I'm going to be covering Korn. Korn is a new metal band originally formed in 1993. The band has put out 14 studio albums in their career, and they have sold more than 40 million records worldwide. Several of their releases have been certified gold, platinum, and double platinum. They are absolute metal giants and pioneers of their genre. With all that being said, let's get into it. Song 1, Freak on a Leash. This song is from the band's 1998 album Follow the Leader. The song has over 634 million streams on Spotify. Jonathan Davis said in an interview he wrote this song because the music industry made him personally feel like a freak on a leash who just had to do whatever they wanted. The song opens with drums and a bass line as well as an electronic sounding guitar part, really affected guitar part. Davis soon begins delivering the lyrics. The typical heavy guitar sound comes in finally during the chorus. The bass is very high in this song, and it is on a lot of Korn's music. They're a very bass-heavy band. There's also these weird, almost creepy vocal interjections where Jonathan has a ton of vocal effects on his voice that are kind of scattered all throughout the song. After the second chorus, we get to the first instance of Davis's beatboxing thing that he does. If you describe to me that he does like random beatboxing in the middle of a metal song, I would never think that I would enjoy it, but he really pulls it off. I don't understand how he does, but he makes it work. Then we go into a heavier breakdown riff, and after that, we go into another chorus. We fade out off the back of that chorus. Song 2, Coming Undone. This one comes off of Korn's seventh studio album, See You on the Other Side. The song reached number 4 on the Billboard Mainstream Rock Songs chart, and it also peaked at 79 on Billboard's Hot 100, making it Korn's fourth biggest hit as far as position on the chart. This song has over 460 million streams on Spotify currently. This one was the main reason I became a fan of this band, as this was one of the songs my dad would play for me and my best friend before football games to pump us up. One time, me and my friend Alex even came up with this idea on our own, I think. I don't remember my dad ever telling us to do this, but we decided to start singing this song pre-snap while on the line during one of our games, and the kids lined up next to us literally started crying. And they even went to the sideline and told their coaches we were crazy. I think they came out of the game and did not return for the rest of the game after that. The song starts with a loud, heavy, simple riff. Then we hear the clap beat start, and Davis comes in with his lyrics. We quickly get into the chorus, and God, does this song still make me want to run my head through a brick wall. I've not listened to it in a while, and I forgot just how good this song is. You cannot help but to headbang all the way through the thing. There's a really cool interlude part where they swap up the guitars, then cut out completely before they go back into the chorus. And when they do go back into it, the wall of sound that hits you like a truck. We hit a few more power chords than the song ends just as fast as it started. Song 3, Blind. This is one from the self-titled debut album, and it was the album's first single, so it was the world's introduction to Korn, and it did a great job of preparing the world for the type of music they were about to be putting out over the next 30 plus years. The song currently has 232 million streams on Spotify. The song opens with just cymbals, then we quickly hear the distorted guitar and bass interject. Davis screams, "Are you ready?" And then that's where the whole band comes together to form the main riff and rhythm of the song. As the verses start, the guitar goes cleaner than it originally was. This is also the cleanest we've heard Davis's voice to this point. He has a very unique voice that I don't even know how to put it into the right words to describe what the man sounds like, but just he's unlike anybody else in this genre or any other. We get back into a more aggressive sound from the instruments and Davis in the chorus. We then have a part where the intensity just builds and builds and builds, and then eventually it just fizzles out and goes away. And we go on to a weirdly calm bass line and a weird guitar lead part, and that's how the song ends. Song 4, Falling Away From Me. This one comes from their fourth studio album, Issues. The song actually, interestingly enough, debuted in a South Park episode. The song has 360 million streams on Spotify, and Jonathan Davis has said that the song is about domestic abuse and about how there are ways to get help and ways to get out. It's also meant to help people realize no one should be treated that way. Another interesting fact is the music video was directed by Limp Bizkit's lead singer, Fred Durst. The song opens with another almost ethereal sounding guitar part, then quickly turns into a heavy riff. The opening guitar part comes back in the verse, and we switch back and forth between it and the heavy riff just all the way through the song. One thing I absolutely love about Korn is how massive everything sounds. When they're going, it's just an absolute wall of sound. I also love the message of this song, and a lot of people don't pay attention to songs in the metal genre because of the fact that they perceive it to just be noise and screaming, and it's about murder and death and all this stuff is what they assume. But if they really broke it down and listened to it and listened to the lyrics, they would see that there are way more instances of songs having meaningful lyrics like this one than they would realize. They just have to be willing to listen to it. The song goes out on another fade out. Song 5, Got the Life. This is another track from the Follow the Leader album. After recording the song, all the members of the band agreed that there was something special about it, and they all agreed it needed to be a single for the album. Jonathan Davis is quoted as saying he felt like it sounded like something you'd hear at a rave. That made him think it may not be very well received by the fans, but I think it was pretty well received as it currently has 309 million streams on Spotify. The song starts with the hit of a snare drum that is tuned so tight it sounds like a gunshot. Then we immediately go into the main riff. I can kind of see what Davis was saying with the rave thing immediately, as it's very bouncy and the bass line's almost funky. In the verses, it's basically just the drums and Davis with some weird guitar-like atmospheric parts in the background, but mainly just the drums and Davis. It becomes more full again in the chorus with all the instruments coming back into the and doing the intro parts that they all had. We go out on Davis repeating Got the Life a ton of times. Then the guitar continues for a few seconds, then fades out. Song 6, Y'all Want a Single. This one comes from the band's sixth studio album, Take a Look in the Mirror. In an interview, guitarist James Schaefer said, "We were recording this album before we went to Ozfest. We had 10 songs written and recorded, but we weren't feeling it would be the whole album. We wanted to add 3 or 4 more songs. So we came back to record them. Then our record company was like, hey, we'd really love to have a single. And our management, the firm, said we would really like to have a smash hit single, man. Can you dig it?" We were really appalled by that. They then wrote this song as a big FU to them. It has almost 200 million streams on Spotify, so I'd say they got their single. The song intros with Davis and a distorted guitar. The rest of the band begins playing soon after. The verses in the song have an almost rap-like feel to them, almost something like you'd hear from somebody like Outkast is the way that I felt about it, which Korn does do on occasion. They do get a little rappy. It happens in the new metal genre. I do enjoy it, though. It's cool for it to be contrasted against how just angry and aggressive the chorus is, too, as well. And the breakdown scream in this song is also insane. The song goes out on another chorus. Song 7, Twisted Transistor. This is another one from the See You on the Other Side album alongside Coming Undone. This song became the band's second most successful single to date as it reached number 64 on the Billboard Hot 100. It also has 226 million streams on Spotify. The song opens with another heavily affected guitar part and a simple drum beat. Overall, the instrumental as a whole for the song is simple but very effective. It's a very, very catchy song. Song goes out on the whole band cutting out, then Jonathan Davis just simply saying Twisted Transistor. Song 8, Here to Stay. This song appears on the band's fifth studio album, Untouchables, as the opening track. The song won the 2003 Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance. The song currently has over 150 million streams on Spotify, and the song opens with a very, very distorted guitar riff that starts only in your right ear if you're wearing headphones. And then as the band joins in, is when it fills out and everything goes over to the other ear as well. I love the chorus from this song. It gets stuck in my head every time I listen to it. The breakdown on this song is also another amazing one. The song goes out on an extended instruments only part for about 30 seconds before it all revs down and then just fades away. Song 9, Word Up. Word Up was the first track on Korn's 2004 album Greatest Hits Volume 1. It was one of two new tracks for the album, and both of those tracks were covers. This one being a cover of the song from funk band Cameo, and the other being a cover of Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd. The band had used the song as a sound check song for years, never playing the full song, but just kind of messing around with it. And then finally, they decided to record the full thing for this Greatest Hits album. The song has over 180 million streams on Spotify, and it opens with another weird, heavily affected guitar part, and you can immediately tell the funk origins of the song, both with the instrumentation and with Davis's vocal performance, like just the way that he delivers his lines. It's very funky. This is the first song of theirs on this list to have a solo, even though it's a very simple one that only has a few notes in it. I think it's 3 notes that are repeated like 3 times, but it's technically a solo. It's the first one on the list. The band ended by all stopping abruptly, and we're just left with an echo reverberating out. Song 10, Twist. This song comes from the Life is Peachy album, and it opens the album. It's only a 49-second song, that was created basically to make the fans shut up. On Clown, a song from the debut album, you hear David say, "I wish we could put Twist on a tape." Davis goes, "You want to hear it?" Then he puts a dread up to his mic and twists it. Then they all laugh. After being asked about it so many times while touring the first album, they decided to write this and tack it on to the front of their second album. Currently, it has 90 million streams on Spotify. The song starts with Davis doing an impression of the Tasmanian devil. That's the best I can do to describe what he's doing in the song. Like, that's literally what it sounds like. And he goes on in the chorus, I guess you'd call it, to just say twist 3 or 4 times and then goes back to the impression, and that's pretty much all there is to the whole thing. That brings us to the end of Korn's top 10 list on Spotify. Thank you once again for listening, and let me know how you feel about these Friday top 10s. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and share with a friend if you're on Spotify. Once again, thanks. Bye.